Okay, we're live.
Hey everyone, welcome back to the Survivor Spartans Spoken podcast, where we talk about Survivor, first episode of the offseason, starting off 2025 with a bang. We're having the second chance to draft, where we will draft a potential tribe of people who've played Survivor only one time. Joining me, as always, we have from Vegas, we have Miss Ava. Ava, how are you?
I'm good. I am still in Vegas. Maybe one more podcast will be in Vegas, and I'll be back in the freezing cold that is Michigan. But for now, I am still home.
Yeah, lucky you. No snow in Vegas. Not
True.
really here.
We have the exploding cyber cars, though, in case anybody's curious.
No idea what that is.
Oh, what is that?
I don't know. One of those really ugly, like Lego-looking cars, like caught fire. Yeah.
Trucks. Mm-hmm.
I still don't know what we're talking about.
It caught fire today, so it exploded on the strip.
Can you make fire though?
Probably not, but I could if I had one of those really ugly Cybertrucks.
Speaking of fire, it is luckily with us. It's the 8th night of Hanukkah, and joining us, my favorite Jew, we have Mr. Jacob Yesman. What's going on, Jacob?
You stole the words out of my mouth. 8th night of Hanukkah. Happy Hanukkah, everybody.
Happy Hanukkah, everyone.
Share Kiddush Manu.
Happy Hanukkah, everyone.
That was
friends. This is for you.
A cult ritual. That was just a Jewish prayer for everyone. I was also just in Vegas for Christmas. Stayed at the Bellagio. Very lucky. That was very fun. And had a great New Year's. I'm a little bit tired, and just like the last podcast, maybe still hungover, even though it's 8 p.m. So there's a common theme about being over on this podcast. But Happy New Year's to you guys. No, what better way to kick off 2025 than to talk about Survivor?
Hey, what can you do? 9:14 in Michigan, hungover. That's just way. And joining us always for a second chance podcast, we have to give a second chance to one of my favorite guests. Joining us for a second time on the MSU, the Spartans Spoken podcast, we got Abdul. What's going on, Abdul?
Hello, I'm doing pretty good. I had some champagne last night, popped a bottle. It was fantastic. Very happy to be here. Yeah.
Wow, look at you. How's the champagne?
It was very good. You know, I have like a sweet tooth, and so like the bitter alcohol, which is like most of alcohol, doesn't really, satisfy me as much. But this champagne was pretty good. So
good. Was it Brett champagne or just champagne?
Probably a mix. I'm sure he was in there a little bit somewhere. But mainly just regular run-of-the-mill champagne, I'd say.
Right on. Yeah, so we have a little interesting podcast today. It's first episode of the Survivor offseason. We're going to be doing a draft, just like Fairness Football. We're going to be having a snake-style draft, meaning it's going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, then 4, 3, 2, 1. We're all going to draft our tribe with our ideal second chance to cast. Second chance, Survivor 31, Survivor Cambodia, one of my favorite seasons of Survivor. Jacob, why do you like Survivor Cambodia so much, and why do you think second chance is such a popular theme?
Well, second chance is a fantastic theme. Partly because the audience got to vote on players coming into the game, which was a really, really fun concept and a fun interactive way for fans to interact with the players in the game. Secondly, it's just a good theme because a lot of players deserve a second chance. There's a lot of players who either get screwed because of a twist or didn't go as far as maybe their potential was in store for them. And so it gives them another opportunity to play the game. We all know that Survivor has a lot of luck involved. Second chances is a great theme. There's a lot of people who are very entertaining television and have a lot of potential as players who want to play the game again and deserve to play the game again. And so, this is an opportunity to get as many of those people as we can back on our screens.
For sure. Ava, what do you think separates second chance from the other themes we've seen in Survivor? Like, why do people want to play so hard in second chance?
I mean, I feel like second chances, like any returning player season, especially when it's like just your second time. Like if you're somebody like Boston Rob, who's played 5 times and you just like keep coming back, like I'm sure it still has the same like gravity of the situation for him. But I think when you're Boston Rob, you're like, I can get this opportunity again. If you're somebody who's just played once, like it's called a once in a lifetime opportunity for a reason. Like you don't think you're going to be able to get to do it again. So I think having like a second chance is just like, oh my gosh, I get a once in a lifetime opportunity again. And I think that's why people like play so hard and go like, so like balls to the wall to like try and like make the most out of what they would assume is like their only other chance to do something like this. But yeah, I miss returning seasons and CBS Survivor. So I'm very excited for 50, no matter what the theme is. Hopefully it has a theme. Any theme, please.
Yeah, luckily 2025, we'll be having Survivor 50 filmed this year. Abdul, Jacob brought up interesting points. Survivor Second Chance, the audience was able to actually vote on the cast, creative production, deciding. Do you think that impacted the season as a whole with the audience directly choosing the cast at all? Or do you think it would have been a better season if production been able to choose?
I think it definitely had an impact on how the season played out, but I do think it was the better choice, at least for the viewers, like in terms of like the viewing and like in terms of like being able to see the game play out. I feel like it was much more exciting because viewers probably base their votes on entertainment. And so when you have people like Jeremy come back with the idols, when you have Kelly Wentworth come back, it's like just a full-blown exciting cast. And so I think we definitely saw that in that season. It's definitely like I think it's my personal favorite season just because of how rampant and like how crazy the gameplay is overall. And so, yeah, I'd say the being able to choose who was on the cast definitely impacted how fun the season was overall.
Do we think Survivor's ever going to go back to a public vote, or do you think this ever going to happen again?
I don't think so.
I think so. I think that if they want to do a returning player season, like after 50 at least, they would turn back to second chances because they saw how successful and fun it was. I think that there's a good I don't know. I can't say for certain, but I think that there is a good shot that they will do it again.
I think they do second chance again, but I don't think they do where the audience votes the people.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah, that's fair.
Well, listen, if they do decide to have the audience vote, they might be looking at our tribes today. We're going to have a pretty fun podcast. We're all going to be drafting. Let's start off the draft order. I'm going to put myself out of the running. One of us is going to determine the draft order for all four of us. Cool?
Okay.
Yeah, a little game for us to play. If there's a tie, we'll go to tiebreaker. So Survivor Second Chance was a public vote. There were 32 people eligible for the vote to make Second Chance cast. 20 of them made Survivor Second Chance.
Mm-hmm.
Let's play a game. Let's go one at a time, naming everyone who is eligible for that. Get it right, you're safe. If you lose, you're out.
I'm not going to remember any.
Standings gets to choose draft order. Cool?
So it's like the Jenga game that the 4 players played on the journey.
Yes.
I have a question. Am I guessing the people who also made the cast?
Yes.
Okay.
20 made the cast, 12 did not make the cast. You 3, gonna go in order. Let's just go Ava, Abdul, Jacob, just like that.
Wait,
if you get it wrong,
we're guessing, sorry.
What? What'd you say?
I blanked out. You said what are we guessing?
Anyone who was eligible for the second chance public vote.
Oh, okay.
On second chance, or they were eligible but did not get voted on.
So you're taking.
I can't even remember who won. Like, I don't even know who was on the season.
You're taking yourself out of the running.
I'm going to take myself into the running.
What does that mean?
The last one standing will choose the entire draft order for this podcast.
I got
you. Who goes first? Who goes second? Who goes third? Who goes fourth? I was going to run the 40, but I decided not to today, so got to save my legs.
All right, Ava, go for it.
All right, Ava,
I literally am like, am I even thinking of the right season?
Anyone who was on second chance or eligible in the vote.
Those people who were in the crowd when Jeff was like, "You will get a second chance."
Yeah, okay, I remember that, but it was however many years ago was the last time I watched that. Spencer.
That is correct.
Yes, I got one.
Abdul, you're next.
And it's anybody. They didn't have to actually make it on.
Correct.
Yeah.
Max.
That is correct.
Surprise you for Max.
Max Dawson.
Let's start with Jeremy.
That is correct. Max Dawson actually taught a class at Northwestern University about reality TV in my dream class.
I don't remember him at all.
What I remember him for is putting his warded foot in the pot.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
This is so bad, guys. My brain is. Taj was on that season. No, yeah, right. That's her name.
Who'd you say?
Yeah.
Who?
Is that right? No.
Who did you say?
I can't remember her name. It wasn't Taj. Was it Taj?
No, yeah.
Not Taj.
Oh, yeah.
You're out.
No, tell me who I'm thinking of. Help me.
Abdul, would you like to say who Ava's thinking
out, but what's her name?
Tasha.
Yes,
Tasha is correct.
That's clear.
I suck.
Am I next?
No, Jacob, you're next.
Kelly Wentworth.
That is correct. Joel, you're back up.
I'll go Tasha.
You already said Tasha.
You already said Tasha.
Oh, that was my thing? Oh, okay, okay. What's her name? Monica?
Monica is correct.
All right.
Oh, he gets the guess right.
Jacob, you're up.
Oh, Ava's out.
Ava is out. The running is between you.
Yeah, because I said Taj instead of Tasha, even though I was thinking of Tasha.
Okay, my bad. Abby Maria.
Abby is correct. Abdul, you're back up.
Kelly Wigglesworth.
That is correct. Jacob,
Joe Anglem.
Joe is correct.
Varys.
Varys.
What's his name?
That is incorrect.
Wait, does that count as my thing? Okay.
No, because then Taj would count for me because I'm picturing the person.
Vetus.
Oh, what's his name?
Vetus is correct.
You mixed Vetus and Aris and got whatever you said.
Varys.
That is
Vetus?
an all-time thunder. Vetus
That's
is
not
the
name.
Yeah, Vetus. Vytas.
Yeah. Jacob, do you want to complete the list? Who else was eligible for this?
Complete it. All right.
You get it no matter what. This is just for fun.
Stephen Fishback.
That is correct.
Sierra.
Correct.
I'm trying to think of just the boot order. Keith Nail, Kimmy.
Yes.
Did I get the whole post merge? Cass and Andrew Savage.
You got the whole post merge.
Terry Dietz.
Correct.
We said Monica already. We've got Shireen, PG, Woo. Who else is there?
You're missing one more person that made the cast.
One more person with Jeff Varner, of course.
That who should not be named. Okay.
Jeff Varner. And then who else was Shane? Shane was completely robbed. You know what? I should add Shane to my potential list here.
He may be on mine. You never know. Okay.
Shane didn't make it.
Correct.
Carolyn Rivera didn't make it.
Correct.
I'm kind of blanking on who else didn't make it. Brad Culpepper didn't make it. Troy Zan didn't.
Correct.
They
Sabrina.
could have had Brad and Monica on again, I feel like.
No, it's a different Monica.
Oh.
Oh yeah, different Monica.
What season did she play again? She played twice.
Blood
Blood
Water.
Yeah.
Oh, she played before that. Yeah.
And then there was
There's 6 people left.
Stephanie
Correct.
Valencia, Natalie Tenorelli.
Correct.
This is just a whole section of my brain. It's sort of a Survivor. I'm missing 4 people now.
2 guys, 2 girls.
I honestly don't know now. I'm sure. Does Mike count? Mike from
Mike counts.
Worlds Apart.
Mm.
2
And
people left.
I might need the season.
2 were both on the same season.
2 were both on the same season. This is a man and a woman.
Yes.
I'm gonna need some help.
The man went to Michigan State.
Went to Michigan State. All I know is John Mish. John Mish. It was not. Who else went to? I'm blanking. I need the season. I think
South Pacific. That was a hint. About
Jim Rice.
Jim Rice. Then a girl and 2 girls.
I'm not sure.
From Survivor South Pacific, Michaela.
Michaela. Yes. Yeah.
Then from Survivor Africa,
Survivor Africa. Africa? Oh, T-Bird.
T-Bird is correct. And those were the 32 people.
Yeah.
I couldn't even get past the first round, guy. I like my brain when it comes to remembering like who is doing what. It's so bad. It's awful.
Reminder, Ava, people you can only draft have only played 1 time before, not 2 times, 1 time.
I know you. I'm gonna have somebody, and you're gonna be like, anyway, I almost had Corinne. Corinne's played twice. I had to look it up. I was like, Corinne's only played once. Wrong.
We will have a podcast where Ryan names the boot list of every single season in a row.
And
Oh,
I sit there
nice.
knowing none of the people.
I'll play a beat. You can make it into a rap.
We actually make a wrap of every boot order in Survivor history, 47 seasons. Let's listen.
Hey, we could.
All right, so Jacob, you will officially choose the draft order. You can choose to go through first, second, third, and fourth. What's your logic? How are you gonna choose? Like, what do you want the order to be?
So this is a snake draft, right? So if I go first, I won't pick again until 8.
8, yeah.
Okay. Dude, I don't know, because there's a lot of strategy that has to go in here. Like, I have a lot of players who I really want, but then there's the players that I think everybody wants. You know what I mean? So it's a matter of who do I choose first. I think I want to go fourth. I want to pick 4th and 5th. We'll have. I'll allow Ava to go first.
He knows who I'm gonna pick. So
I know exactly who you're gonna pick.
I have her name
I don't
written down.
We'll get Abdul the guest go second, and Ryan, you'll go third.
All right, that works. All right, so before Ava goes, let's just do a little statistics. We had 715 people play Survivor, 105 played again, meaning only 14.7% of Survivor players have played the game more than once. So essentially, there's about 85% of Survivor players who can draft.
And I remember 5 of them, so we're off to a great start.
So the way it's going to work, it's going to be 5 guys, 5 girls. Once they're all drafted, we're going to have a poll. Whoever gets the most votes is going to win. Just quickly, what's everyone's strategy for this draft? Jacob, you go first.
My strategy is to pick the players that I like, the players that I want on my team. I don't really have many other strategies. Like I said, maybe pick somebody who I think you guys want earlier, but then that puts the players that I know who I want at risk of being taken. And I know you guys know some players that I want. I don't know if you guys would take them. That's the thing. This is also a mind reading game. This is a poker table. Can I read if you guys want my players? I don't know. No. So it's all about knowing you guys. It's about knowing people. This is a Survivor game at the end of the day. Yeah. How well do I know the 3 of you?
It really is. Abdul, what about you?
Wait, I have a question.
What's the question?
Can second chance not be winners?
No.
They cannot have won the game or played the game more than once.
Abdul has 11 winners.
Winners.
So, okay. You said my strategy. No strategy.
You focus on like fan favorites, players who want to see again, great players that have a lot of potential. Like, what type of player are they looking for?
I'm just looking for entertaining players for the most part. A lot of good game players for sure. I think that's definitely like the gameplay aspect. Like if they're actually good at the game, that is what I'm looking at. But just in general, like personal favorites, like Jacob was saying, of mine that I like to see when I watch their season. So, and then like when it comes to this draft, I'm probably picking the most popular of my list first so that they don't get taken.
Yeah, I have 96 names written down. I looked at every season, what people I thought who I want to come back. My strategy is just to think, what does second chance mean to me? I think people who want to play hard, want to be there, want a chance for redemption. So that's what I'm going to go for. But Ava, you're the first pick. What's your strategy in this draft?
To take Jacob's first choice. No, just kidding. My strategy, I'm going for vibes. I'm gonna be the vibes tribe. I also want people who don't suck. Like it's not like I'm going for like, oh, first boots, like yes, good vibes. But I'm going for vibes. I think most of my people are also good players, but vibes. And stealing everybody else's choices. I'm just kidding. I don't even know who you're in.
All right. Well, Ava, draft is officially started. Who will be the first pick in this draft? I wonder who it's going to be.
I'm going to pick my favorite person from 47, Andy. I'm just kidding.
Okay, Andy's your favorite draft.
No, I would have left the podcast.
This will come as a surprise to absolutely no one. I'm picking my actual favorite person from Survivor 47. Might be recency bias. Also, I think my favorite player of the new era. That's Genevieve, obviously. I'm glad you let me go first because I probably would have revolted if somebody else took Genevieve. So that's my first pick. And Jacob knew that's who I was gonna pick, and he didn't care. So, but yeah, I have the best one right here. So I don't know why anybody would let me take her first, but Genevieve all the way.
Yeah, right. Bias. I definitely think that's going to play. I like Genevieve. I think she deserves a second chance. She would not have been number 1 on my board.
Number 1 pick.
It's to this podcast to start, to go chaotically if someone else picked Genevieve, and then it would start a huge fight.
Abdul, what do you think about Eva picking Genevieve with the first pick?
Personally, you're not seeing Genevieve touch my list. I think she's overrated. Beyond compare. I think people gas her up way too much. She didn't do much. Love her for working with my guy Rome, but second chances.
She's only good because of Rome.
That's all I remember. That's all I remember personally.
Jacob, what do you think about Genevieve?
Love Genevieve. Genevieve was my second favorite player on 47, but I probably I would have wanted her on my second chance team, honestly, but I wouldn't have picked her first.
I agree with that completely. Genevieve officially off the board, but Abdul, you're up.
Does it matter guy or girl or whatever?
Does not matter.
Okay.
Just a little clarification. Each one has 5 guys, 5 girls.
Okay. First pick, just because I know someone's gonna take him. Jesse. Give him.
Ooh,
Not giving me.
that's a good pick. Why did you want to choose Jesse with your first pick?
He's arguably like one of, if not the best new era player. You know what I mean? And I feel like he probably made like single-handedly, he made like the best, most impressive move of the new era. Like I think him, he flushed Carla's idol, flushed Cody's idol. He had another idol in his back pocket waiting for him in Final Five, and then he took out Cody. I just feel like he's a really good player, well-rounded. I mean, never mind, not well-rounded. He can't win a competition to save him his life, but like socially, strategically, I think he's got it all. So I definitely want him on my tribe.
Yeah, fun fact, Jesse is one of the few survivors to actually appear on Mr. Beast's YouTube channel. His son was in 2 Mr. Beast videos, so that's something. Jesse is one of the best players of the new era. Had he won, he probably would have been one of the most dominant players of the new era. Jacob, how high did you have Jesse on your board?
I had Jesse at number 6 for the guys, so I had him right outside of it. I would have loved to have Jesse there, though, because Jesse, in my opinion, is the strategically best player in the new era. The reason why I didn't have him in my top 5 is because I have some more entertainment over strategy in the top 5 in terms of my second chance picks. But Jesse, absolutely solid pick. Love Jesse. He was my favorite player on 43 for sure.
Yeah. I will say 43 was season that was airing the season that I played MSC Survivor. I was a little out of it, not gonna lie. I didn't watch the full season in whole. The one episode I did see live, the move where he takes out Cody, one of the most cutthroat moves in Survivor history. I get goosebumps watching it every time. Truly something fascinating. Shows you got to make it. Do it you all when you play Survivor. One of my all-time favorite moves. But hey, just was time. Let's see, but not my first pick. My first pick is on the board. What do you guess who it's going to be?
Who your pick is going to be?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I feel like it could be someone so random. It's going to be like John Lovett.
I don't know. Okay? With my first pick, I'm thinking second chance. I think people who deserve a second chance of winning this game. And there's not a single person in Survivor history who came closer to winning the game than Dominic Abate. Dominic Abate is joining my team. He played the most dominate not winning game in Survivor history. He was one vote away. No, he had 50% of the jury voting for him. He was so close to winning the game. He dominated that whole entire season with Wendell. At times, even outplayed Wendell. The jury was so close between the two of them. People had changed their mind at that tribal council. He was one of the most strategic players in Survivor history. I think he deserves a second chance. I want him playing the game. He was on the challenge, came second place despite sucking at challenges. He deserves to be on Survivor again. Give me Dominic Abate.
Solid choice, Ryan. Dominic absolutely deserves a second chance. He is the closest person of winning the game. Actually, I think he's the second most dominant player to never win. The first one is going to be my first choice.
Really?
We can talk about that in a second. But Dominic was obviously his only flaw, I guess, was not managing the jury very well towards the end. Other than that, he played a great game.
Yeah, I agree.
Jill, what do you think about Dominic?
Like we all said, man, like one of the best players to ever play. He came so close. Like really, he just needed. I mean, like he accounted for everything. He was like players ever. I didn't have him on my list, but it's only like 5-6 people. So if I would have had a longer list, if I went through the seasons, he's probably like top 3.
Okay.
So definitely.
Ava, was Dominic on your list at all?
Yeah, he was.
Okay.
I didn't have them in order. I kind of had them in order of seasons. It's just in my brain. It's kind of a mismatch up here. But he was on my list, yes.
Okay. Well, Jacob, you claim you have the one player who's better than Dominic. Who was your
I'm debating because I don't know if you guys will pick this player. And so now I'm debating.
I know who you're going to pick.
I mean, you know who that person is. I don't think Abdul knows who it is.
I know who it is.
Might. But I don't know if you guys will pick him or not. And there's other players who I know.
A certain person will. You also have 2 picks in a row.
I know.
Someone in this podcast will pick him.
I know. I'm just thinking. I'm thinking here. This is so annoying. Okay, fine. Well, first of all, my first pick will be Q. I'm picking Q from Survivor 46. I want Q
to pick.
Be so bad. I think he was one of the greatest confessionalists in Survivor history. So entertaining. And he does not get enough credit for for how well he was playing the game up until his massive blow up. His massive blow up was ridiculous. It was crazy. It was entertaining. Before that, he was genuinely controlling votes. Was he doing it in a subtle way? No. He probably would have been taken out eventually. But he was just so electric. The way he both wanted to control the game and was just hilarious. So I want Q back for sure on 50. And my second pick will be, I'll go with him because he's my favorite player of all time to never win. Got to go with Devin Pinto, Heroes, Healers, and Hustlers. Love to me, to Abdul's demise. Devin is to my opinion, the best player to never win the game. One time player to never win the game. Not because Dominic obviously came closer. He was only one vote away. But to me, the surprise fire-making twist is what really screwed Devin out of the win because Ben already lost the immunity challenge and was already going to be voted out. And Devin, I mean, so people question whether or not Chrissy would have beaten Devin at the final tribal, but from what I've seen, Devin definitely wins that game. And from what we saw on television, Devin played an extremely dominant game compared to Chrissy. He was the one always in the majority, never left out of votes, leading the votes. He came up with the incredible secret agent plan and the incredible idea to put a vote onto Dr. Mike to combat Ben's idol. But either way, point being, Devin played an extremely creative game. It was super underrated, and I love him because he broke the stereotype of being a surfer dude who was like the best strategist on the season, and I want Devin back more than anybody else.
Devin Pinto kind of walks with Tyler Crispin could run and Big Brother. I do question, though, if he would have wanted that final tribal against Chrissy and Ryan. I think that would have maybe been the most interesting Final Three in Survivor history. Thanks, Firemaking, for winning that. Abdul, Ava, do you think Devin wins in that scenario?
Against Chrissy, is that what you said?
Chrissy, Ryan, Devin, who wins Final Three? Because I've seen people online think all three won.
Yeah, I think it's really Final Tribal Council to find out.
Yeah, it's definitely up in the air. Because I feel like, I mean, maybe I remember incorrectly, but I don't even think Chrissy or Ryan received that much praise when they were going up against Ben. So I just don't know if that changes if they're going up against Devin. But I do feel like Devin overall was pretty well liked like during the game. And so maybe that does carry over to Dre too, but who knows?
Yeah. I will say, I think Devin gets overshadowed a lot as a player because of kind of like the Malcolm, the Ozzy comparisons. He's probably one of the most versatile players we've seen in Survivor history. He claims he'd only ever go to Survivor again if it was blood versus water with his mom. Hopefully it changes. I'd love to see Devin play, but yeah, two really good picks. You have two kind of polar ends of the spectrum. You got Q, the most emotional player in Survivor history here. Then Devin Pinto, one of the most logical players. So good first two. Though I'm going to go with one of my favorite players with my next pick. I think this person's a lock to return to Survivor 50 no matter what. I think he's one of the best confessionalists in Survivor history. An endurance king. Christian Hubicki, welcome to my team.
Beautiful. I had Christian high.
I love Christian. Ava, are you a big Christian fan?
I did not have him on my list, but I do think that's a very good pick. I have far more girls than I do guys. I'm looking at I'm like, I need to start picking guys before I have no options left. There's so many girls.
Yeah. Abdul, are you familiar with a ribbon sandwich?
I'm trying to go into my Survivor brain if there's any knowledge about a Reuben sandwich.
Yes.
I remember when he was doing that endurance challenge against Alec, he was talking to Jeff for about 5 hours straight about anything, including sandwiches. One time he just asked Jeff about a sandwich. So
I do remember.
Yeah. He's also one of the best thinkers about Survivor in general. It is called I'm blanking on the name. Is it the Monty Python probe?
The Monty Python.
What was it in Survivor 40? It's like two doors.
Monty Hall.
Monty Hall problem.
Yeah.
He explains Monty Hall problem so well. He wants to come back. He's a professor. He knows the game inside and out. If I had him, I'm not going to lie. Sometimes I skip class. If Christian was my professor, I would never skip class one time. I think he came with the huge target on his back, had a really impressive run. Did first class, one of my favorite seasons of all time. I would love to see him come back. Hopefully he comes back for Survivor 50, but I need Christian back on my screen.
What does he teach again? Did you say that?
He is a teacher at Florida State.
Does he teach physics?
I think it's physics and engineering, I believe.
Wow. Yeah, out of all of like the nerd archetypes they have, like Christian is my favorite.
I agree with that.
So.
All right. So Christian is off the board. Abdul, who's your next pick?
All right. So I'm going to continue my new era streak. He didn't make it too far, but, you know, he made it far enough.
You better not pick who I think you're going to pick.
He's definitely – what? I think this is a – listen, I'm picking Batman. Caleb Gergenwald, whatever.
No, that was my next one.
I do not think you're going to pick him.
Yeah, I did not think.
They're attacking someone else.
By far, my favorite, my most favorite player. I think confessional-wise, he was fantastic. Like, he just delivered all the time. He was super exciting and, like, entertaining to watch. And, like, strategically, I feel like he always thought about, like, unconventional strategy. Like, pulling in Emily really saved his butt. And so, like, if he wasn't the type of player to go out of his way to make that connection and keep it, we wouldn't see him make jury, you know? And so I feel like even though he got screwed over by a twist, I think he definitely can come back a second time. And, you know, I think he can do pretty well. So,
Avian, quite the reaction there. What are your thoughts about Abdul taking Caleb?
No, that was literally like, I was like, I really need to pick a guy. And I was like looking through my guy. Like, that was literally probably the next name out of my mouth was Caleb. So I'm like, dang, no. Yeah, I really like Caleb. He's probably one of my, he is one of my favorite, like, early merge people from 45 for sure. And one of my favorite, like, in that kind of range of going out of the new era.
Cool. Yeah, for sure. Jacob, are you a big Caleb fan?
I think Caleb's overrated.
I'm with you on that. I think he's one of the most overrated players in the new era.
I'm not a massive Caleb fan. I don't dislike him by any means. I thought that he was fun. He had a lot of potential. The shot in the dark play was awesome. Other than that, like, you know, he was charismatic. I didn't get a lot from him. I thought I don't think of Caleb when I think of season 45 like at all. You know, so
that's crazy.
That is crazy.
Abdul, you have a rebuttal?
It's just insane. It's pure insanity. How do you not think of he is the only successful or like shot in the dark play, bro?
I mean, yeah, plays.
Technically not true.
I think of Austin, D, and Drew.
He got the votes and it nullified the majority of the votes. But it's the biggest moment of 45. And listen, 45 has a lot of big moments. 45 has a lot of big moments. Yeah. But let's be real. When you think of 45, the shot in the dark, the what's that one when they're sitting at the table where you know what I'm trying to talk about, right? No. You see that picture. He plays a shot in the dark. Everybody's excited. Everybody's excited for him. Like 12 votes. No, what are you talking about?
Hey, that was a great moment. I never said that wasn't a great moment, but to me, like,
and you don't think of him?
I think Caleb was fine. Like, he was fine. There's nothing that special about Caleb to me.
All right, Brody.
I think he got rewarded for a dice landing on something that has 1 out of 6 chances of getting on. It is a little embarrassing to get 12 out of 13 votes, something like that. I like Caleb. I think he deserves to have a second chance. He would not have. He was on my list, but not really high on my list.
What I will say about Caleb is after the shot in the dark play, he got totally screwed having to be split into a tribe the day after because he could have gotten a lot of momentum, but he was basically taking away any opportunities because he was put into a tribe of 5. So I will give Caleb that. He was definitely screwed there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Well, Caleb is officially off the board. Ava, you have 2 picks now. You're going to pick?
I don't know. I need to pick a guy because of my list of girls, nobody else has been chit-chatting.
Boston Rob is unfortunately not eligible, Ava.
I was not going to pick Boston Rob. I have literally
neither is Tony.
I don't like Tony, so I wouldn't have picked him.
Shout out Survivor MSU legend Tony Cohen.
Ava wants Sandra.
Yeah, I'm actually going to take Sandra. 2-time winner. Oh, gosh, this is so hard. I'm trying to think who else other people.
Reminder, 85% of Survivor players are eligible.
Yeah, I understand, but I have 7 people left for the guys, so I'm trying to pick one of them first. Let's start there. Oh, God. Okay. Okay. This is probably my least favorite new era season. It's also one I haven't seen since it aired. From 41, I'll take Ricard. Yeah, I feel like I need a good strong man to start us out in terms of gameplay. 41 is like so far in the depths of my memory. Oh, Christian said I should pick chicken. I think that would be a great choice.
Chicken. Damn.
I'm not picking chicken.
Chicken Morris might be on my draft board. You never know.
That's really funny. Yeah, so my first pick of the two is Ricard from 41, and I'm going back to my girlies. I'll figure the guys out later.
To give you some time, let's talk about Ricard. He is Torrens' favorite player of all time. Shout out Torrens.
Really?
What? That is a weird pick for Torrens. I feel like
I can see it.
I don't know why. I don't know why I can't see Torrens playing Ricard.
Ricard was
not that much. He's not the best player ever.
he was my winner pick for Survivor 41. I like Ricard. I think he's a little overrated. I think he is a good player. Well, I think the gameplay in 41 was not the greatest. I think it's really he gets overshadowed a lot because of his rivalry with Shan. I think it'd be interesting to see how he play in a second time. I don't think he'd do great, though he is rumored to be coming back actually as a respondent for Australian Survivor vs. the World. So we may see Ricard this year.
Oh, interesting. I didn't know that.
But any other major thoughts on Ricard?
I think Ricard was a good player. I think he gets forgotten about a lot from 41 because 41 kind of gets forgotten about a lot.
Yeah.
But like he was a very well-rounded player. I guess he's not my favorite like personality-wise. There's like he just seems like too much of like his face just looks too much like a Disney villain. You know what I mean? Like and it just like kind of turns me off when I see him on TV. That's kind of mean. But like for example, they had Ricard. You know, like 41, 42, 43, like Ricard, Omar, Jesse, like three like big strategists back to back to back. Like to me, Omar and Jesse are just way better TV than Ricard was, in my opinion.
I don't know. I think Jesse is for sure. I don't know about Omar in comparison. Jesse 100% is the top of those three, but Jesse was no longer an option, so I had to pick somebody else.
Cool.
Okay, I'm gonna pick another guy because I have literally so many girls. Another new era guy. More recently, I'm gonna pick Carson from 44.
Really?
Ryan.
I just do not like Carson. I'm not gonna lie.
I could pick anybody, and Ryan would be like, oh, no. I know there's like the whole puzzle scandal. I don't know.
Yeah, that's what I don't like.
Strictly, I don't know what's going on. But I'm going strictly with like who I think would do well and vibes from the show. I don't know what his life story is with puzzles. I'm ignoring that because I don't understand it. But yeah, I'm picking Carson. I feel like he is another one who really had a lot of win potential had he sat at the end.
It's a puzzle for me why you picked Carson. Abdul, what do you think about the Carson pick?
You know what? Real life aside, I do think Carson is a solid pick. Yeah, I mean, he pretty much controlled like the entirety of season 44. To be so real, like
what I'm saying,
like on his tribe, he was in the middle, and then once he got to merge, his like 3 with the Tika 3 controlled like the entire thing. He like was never a name. He got thrown out and like immediately like, he had the agency to dispel that like pretty quickly too. So it's like he got an idol played on him that wasn't even needed. Like, I mean, I think, you know what, Carson is a good pick. Gameplay wise, Carson is a really solid pick. I think he's definitely up there with the best players of the new era. You know, would he do well on second chance? I don't know. But I think he was a good pick. I like it.
See, Ryan.
I am with Ryan again. I think Carson sucks.
You suck.
Like Carson because I thought he was so boring. He was such a good player for sure. I think he was so boring. And if he plays again on a second chance season, I think it'll be the exact same way. I think he'll play extremely well, be able to have his agency behind the scenes, give his lame confessionals, go really far into the game, and
I
take.
don't think he was boring.
I thought
you were a huge person. I mean, he was paired with Carolyn and Yam Yam. Like, who of the three of them? Like, yes, Carson is the most like normal-headed, like boring person. But like, I feel like compared to everybody who's ever played, he's not boring. He was surrounded by 2 huge dominant personalities.
I think it's a little bit overhyped. If I'm being completely honest, he's in such a dominant alliance, probably the most iconic alliance of the new era. Not the most dominant with him, Carolyn, and Jam Jam. Controlled a lot of the season, but I think it was the 3 of them together. I think it's kind of just like arguing like who of the 3 is the best player of the 3. I think a lot of people like to argue it's Carson. I just don't completely agree. I just think it's kind of the way he presents himself, his narrative. I think it was more Jam out of anyone. That's just my opinion, but hey, it's not a bad. I think he's a good player, just would not be my pick.
Also, like Ryan said earlier, 44 is the most foggy to me of the new era because that was when we were playing season 2 of Survivor. It was when that was airing, and I was not watching very closely, like compared to how I watched the other seasons, and I haven't rewatched it. So 44 is a little foggy in my brain.
41 is really foggy to me. I'm like, I don't remember anything about 41.
Yeah, you're not missing much, but yeah. So Carson and Ricard out off the table. Ava shocking everyone picking 2 men in a row. Abdul, you're up next. Here's your next pick.
Let me just the popularity of the people I have on my list. I want to see if
Yeah, I'm trying to be a little strategic in mine. I'm trying to think of some people who might be fan favorites. Get a little bit of the audience to vote for them, but hey, who knows?
I'll say give me Taj.
Ooh.
She was on my
From
list.
Tocantins.
I did not think she was going to go this early.
Yeah. I just want to, grab her before anybody else does. I feel like of my girls, she's probably like one of the most, if not the most popular. So, no, Taj did really well in Tocantins. I mean, she pretty much went like unscathed until her vote out. And it was only like final 3 when she was taken out of the game by a single vote. So it's like, I mean, I think socially she's, clearly like unstoppable for the most part. Yeah, she was in like a power alliance the whole way through and she had a lot going for her. So
yeah, one of my favorite scenes in Survivor history is when Todd tells everyone her husband is Eddie George. Everyone freaks out besides Fishback, who's like, I have no clue who that guy is.
Yeah, I'd be like, who?
One of the most underrated players, I think, in Survivor history. She really controlled a lot of the game with Steven and JT, but they kind of get the credit as a duo. Survivors wanted her back forever. Have constantly asked her to come back. She's always said no. We'd love to see her on Survivor 50. Jacob, are you a big Taj fan?
I love Taj. Taj is great. I had Taj in consideration and have Taj super high, but another person who I would absolutely love to have on my tribe because Taj was a lot of fun and definitely if Taj was up against Steven, would she have lost? Do you know that?
She was out at Final Four, so I'm not exactly sure.
Oh, right. I tweaked. I thought she got there. Either way, she played a great game, and she was definitely underrated in terms of entertainment, too. She was a lot of fun to watch. Really, like she had like a nice, warming personality. Definitely would be a fan favorite if she came back.
For sure. Ava, are you a big Taj fan, big Tocantins fan?
Yeah, that's the season I've rewatched most recently was Tocantins, so Taj was also on my list. Yeah, I love Taj. I kind of like whoever said, maybe Abdul, Ryan, someone said like Steven and JT get all the credit, obviously, for that dominance on Tocantins, but I think Taj, like without Taj, I don't know that they could have been so successful. But again, it's just like 2 really big personalities. Obviously, JT's come back many times. He's had many. He won, so he sticks out. But I think that Taj also deserves a lot of the credit for that, the success of that kind of trio that season.
Yeah, for sure. Abdul, you said you were going for fan favorites, wanting Taj. I think I'm the real winner here. I think I got the biggest fan favorite of them all. I'm shocked this person's still here. Carolyn Weiger, welcome to my team.
Okay. I was gonna pick Carolyn as my second one here, but not my first. But I was really relieved you didn't pick one person in particular. But I love Carolyn. I would absolutely love Carolyn.
I'm surprised she fell this far. I think she's kind of like the face of the new era. Really shows you can truly be yourself and still do well at Survivor. They love her so much they brought her back for the Traitor. She was on the sneak peek today. So she's going to be on TV screen soon, but I'm so glad to have Carolyn on my team, one of the most memorable players in Survivor history. I think she's one of the most underrated players as well. She's really strategic, really good at really better challenges I think people give her credit for. She can connect with a lot of different people. So I think she's a fantastic pick, an all-time Survivor character, soon to be Survivor legend. So yeah, welcome to my team.
Nice. That's a good pick. That's a solid pick.
Yeah, for sure. Well, Jake, you said you weren't going to pick Carolyn. Who were going to pick?
I was gonna pick Carolyn here actually, but not before I pick Angelina. I want Angelina on my team.
Here's my next pick.
Basically, almost like the cue of the woman for my team in terms of entertainment. Yeah, not much else to say about Angelina other than she was just TV gold every single time she was on the screen. So she obviously didn't end up playing the greatest game in the world, but she does have strategic potential, and she showed that in the pre-merge. and she ended up getting kind of her feet swept under her, or whatever the term is, the rug swept under her feet, at the merge tribal council, where she got caught trying to do jury management, and then she couldn't recover from that. So if she doesn't have a mistake like that in a second chance season, I don't think people will necessarily see her as that much of a threat, and I think she has a really good chance to do really well, along with hopefully being just as entertaining as the last time. So I definitely want Angelina on my team. And then I'm debating on my second pick here. I think I'm going to go with, actually, I don't know. I'm going to pick Shan from 41.
Ooh, really?
I'll pick Shan. I know that there's stuff with her outside of the game too that people don't like. I don't really know for sure. I know she was like really bitter outside of the game, but strictly from the game alone, to me, she's the most compelling villain of the new era. You know, Rome was a good villain. You got other good villains for sure. To me, Shan was the best strategist of those said villains, and so that to me makes for a really compelling villain. And that's basically why I want Shan on my team. Yeah.
That was fantastic. Abdul, what do you think about Jacob picking Shan right here?
She wasn't on my list, but she's definitely a really good pick. Like she's like top villains. I mean, personally, I got to go with Rome as top villain, but for as an introduction to the new era, Shan did a lot, I'd say. She's definitely like one of the biggest characters and one of the better game players. I think she's a little overrated, but I think overall she is still like delivers like in a lot of ways. So yeah, solid pick for sure.
Sure. Ava, did you watch the Challenge USA at all?
Yeah, those are the first seasons of the Challenge I've watched.
What did you think about Shan in the Challenge USA?
I watched it when it aired, and I have almost no memory of it, so it's not a good thing.
I will say she was very bitter once she left, very bitter with the network as a whole. So I'm sure she might have soured Productions taste a little bit, but I think Shan would have been a lock after Survivor 41 aired. One of the best female villains of all time, really chaotic.
All time is a little bit of a stretch. But
I think there's a lot of underrated. She's one of the most memorable female villains in a long time. I think she's really iconic. Love to see her play again. Don't love the odds, but she'd be great on TV again. Great pick, Jacob.
Yeah.
Gracias.
All right. Well, Shan's off the board. I was actually going to pick Angelina with my next pick, but I'm looking for something. Abdul, do you mind looking behind you for a second? Trying to find someone. Like, I just can't find, like, where's Davey? Get it? Anyone get it?
Well, I don't get it.
During the loved one's visit, Davey's mom just yelled, "Where's Davey?"
Oh, I thought there was something with Abdul here because Abdul's clearly upset.
No, but yeah, Davey Reichenbach is my next pick. I love that man. He should have been on the Traders this season. One of the most strategic players of that cast. Such a fan favorite. Great in confessionals. Can't believe he was an alternate. He was actually, fun fact, an alternate for Jared Fields on that season. Jared being Saray's son.
Oh.
Who was such a good pick. I like him so much better than Jared. I love Davey. I want him back on 50. Put him back on TV. Davey, welcome to my team. Abdul, you seem mad.
Davey's a great
That
pick.
was one of my 5 people, so 2 of them got shot. I'm now down to 3 OGs on my list. No, Davey was like he's like one of the first people you think of when you think second chance, especially when it comes to that the 30s, the Survivor 30s. He's one of the first people. If it's not Christian, it's Davey from that season. You know what I mean? Like, oh my gosh. Yeah. So I gotta think about somebody else.
All right. Well, Ava, you a big Davey fan?
I just had to look him up because I couldn't remember who it was. Guys, my memory is so like genuinely of these most recent seasons. Like I've seen them once, and it's like my brain is at capacity. And I was thinking like Davey. I know who he is now that I looked him up. Yes, I do remember liking him.
He gets mentioned on the show randomly all the time.
Yeah. Unfortunately, I don't really remember much about him. But he seems like a nice guy.
That's crazy.
A nice guy.
That's crazy.
I'm so sorry. I literally like if I haven't seen the season in a while, like poof, be gone.
You remember episode where the mayor of Slamtown was taken out, John?
Like, yeah, kind of.
He had Davey played the idol for Christian in that episode.
Okay, I remember Christian. That like that sticks out.
They're both on my team.
Sorry, guys.
All right. Oh yeah. Well, Abdul, looks like I stole your pick, but who's your next pick?
Oh my gosh. So I think the girls on my list are probably a little more niche. I think I can keep that for later. Actually, now I'm gonna go with one of them. I'm going with Sydney from
Which one?
whatchamacallit?
Korong.
Korong. Sydney from
Okay.
Korong.
That's a great
That's a
pick.
great pick. Yeah.
No, I think she was right there with
You stole that pick from me.
yeah, okay, good. Now you know how it feels, buddy. I think she was really good on Korong, like really well-rounded, honestly, if we're being real, like socially, strategically, and physically. She was another person, fallen angel, that got cut right at the end, but I'm pretty sure she was going to win if she did make it to the end.
Oh, she would.
At least. So she was in control for I think like all of it up until she went home. She was like key in those strategic decisions. She had it all pretty much. And so I feel like people don't talk about her much, which is crazy. She's definitely underrated, but yeah, no, I got to go with it. Sydney.
Ava, do you remember who Sydney is?
Yes, she was on my list. Okay, see, that's the season I've rewatched, so it's up there. Yeah, I really like Sydney. She was high on my list. Probably not like one of my next picks, but she was up there.
Yeah, for sure. Jacob, are you a big Sydney fan?
Yeah, love Sydney. I think there's not much more to say than what's already been said. She was one of the best players and super fun on Korong. And with a great cast, too, the fact that she would have won and played as well as she did, I think that always says something. To me, the quality of a cast really says something about the players who end up doing really well. And Sydney had a great quality of cast, and I think she would kill it on another season, too. And just the fact that she's that fucking jacked is insane, too.
Yeah, she is one of the most underrated players in Survivor history. Won every second chance. Do I think it's going to happen? Probably not, but put her back on TV. Well, Ava, you now have 2 picks. Who are you going to pick?
Here we go, everybody. I'm going to pick probably 2 people that everyone thinks is silly for me to pick.
I will completely judge.
I mean, like I said, I'm just here with what I have up in my memory that's failing me recently. Okay, so I'll do the guy first. I'm taking from David versus Goliath, Mike White, mostly because I love Mike. I think he was great in that season, but also he was an OG amazing racer. So he always will stick out in my mind from Amazing Race. But he's also like a TV producer. He's like seems like such a cool guy. But I think he had a lot more potential than was shown. I think he played really great on 37, but I think there was more potential for him to win than actually showed and actually happened. Obviously, he lost. But yeah, I love Mike White. Ryan, ready to judge now?
I love Mike White. I would have voted for him over Nick Wilson. Not gonna lie. He was on the Amazing Race twice, so fits your alley a lot. He's a great pick. I don't think he needs to play Survivor again. I'm not gonna lie. He's the reason why in San Juan del Sur we did not have Redemption Island, so give him credit for that.
In San Juan del Sur? Really? What did he do?
Because he and Jeff are friends, and Jeff asked him about Redemption Islands because they're going to have it in San Juan del Sur like that in Blood vs. Water. He told Jeff, I didn't like it. So Jeff's like, you know what? Mike doesn't like it. Let's not have it on.
Interesting.
I love Mike White the most for The White Lotus. What a show. Yeah. That show is incredible. Mike White is just as talented of a TV producer as he is a Survivor player.
100%.
Genuinely.
100%. Julie, you're a White Lotus fan?
Love it, yeah. I can't wait for season 3 that's going to come out. I love that he's featured a couple of Survivor players in season 2, and I think he's going to in season 3. So that's always exciting to see those cameos. But the show's fantastic. I think it's like, yeah, it's super, super different, but super good in the same way. So like, I feel like Mike during the game had a great like creative mind that allowed him to get far, and he does outside of the game too.
For sure, yeah. Shout out with White Lotus. Maybe Jake will be on one day. You never know.
Me? Who?
What?
Who?
You. I can see you being on the White Lotus.
Appreciate it.
All right. Well, Ava, who's your next pick?
Everybody in the comments is saying to pick Franny from 44. And as much as I love Franny, I'm not going to do that.
Well, does Abdul like Franny? Is that why?
Does he? I don't
You're
know.
I think he
What are the
does.
people in the comments saying?
Stuart,
How do I get to the comments?
Michael Wright said, wow, women candidates are going fast. Might have to snag Franny from 44. And then the Challenge MSU account said, someone pick Franny now.
all right, Ava, do it.
I'm not going to do that.
Yeah, guys, I don't think you
I
guys should.
am going to pick. I feel like Franny will go before this person goes, but I don't care. I'm picking my new era girlies as they come here. So I'm taking the Emily Flippin from 45 because I love Emily. She deserves a second chance. I think almost as good of a comeback as Andy, but a great comeback in the new era.
Not even close.
Yes, very close. She became not annoying and Andy remained annoying. But yes, I'm taking Emily. She's a queen. That's all I have to say. I think she was also a really good Survivor player after she bounced back from her almost tragedy the first day.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, she kind of walks so Andy could run, but hey, what can you do?
Absolutely not. I will not
Kidding.
take Emily Flippin slander, especially for someone named Andy. Sorry, not sorry.
Look, I mean, if we're comparing her to Andy, I'm not going to think of Emily very highly, but I do think of Emily very highly because Emily, it was a great pick in my opinion. Emily, yeah, she obviously had a great comeback too. And similarly to Andy, like if you watch her in episode 1 and then you watch her like 4 episodes later, it's like 2 completely different people. It's so crazy. And her game sense was obviously so there. Her move to get rid of Bruce was fantastic. She just took credit for it too early. And yeah, she had a very, very good shot to win that game. She was one of the best players on the season.
I also really don't like Bruce, so it made it even better. I'm not a fan. He was really annoying. He really.
What did Bruce do to you?
He annoyed me greatly, is what he did to me.
I love Bruce.
Unfortunately, Bruce is not eligible for the draft. But Abdul, what are your thoughts on Emily Flippin?
Definitely solid pick. Honestly, she probably should be on my list. But I decided to go for people that might not be at the front of everybody's mind, but like Emily Flippin definitely is the character of 45. I'd say like you have Caleb, you have a lot of great people from that season, but Emily, like her growth throughout the season was like super amazing to watch, and so definitely great pick for Ava.
For sure. Well, Emily wasn't on your list, but who's your next pick?
Okay, this is a defensive play. I'm gonna take Franny just in case anybody was getting ideas.
Wow, I'm so shocked.
Listen, love Franny. If I can pull up the picture, maybe I'll show you guys. I went to Chicago RHAP event, got to meet Franny, took a couple pictures with her. Interacting with her was fantastic. I mean, it's Franny. It's Franny.
I think your mind got clouded by the comments. I don't know if anyone was going to pick Franny.
I was probably
I was not going to pick Franny.
but not
Just in case. Just in case.
Dual guys by
Michael Wright somehow got into your mind in this podcast.
I was gonna pick her regardless, so
I got you.
It's a matter of time.
Yeah. I think one of the more underrated players, probably an underrated strategist. I think she deserves a second chance. Was not really high on my list, but hey, you do you.
Yeah, I mean, listen, she's definitely underrated. I think a lot of her strategy and like gameplay can be overlooked. But I remember very well that she was one of the few people, if not like the only person outside of the Tika 3 to clock the Tika 3. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? And she wanted to make that move, but little dummy Danny was like, no. And so like she tried to make the move. And I mean, it took a lot for her to get to where she needed to. She won immunity. She had an idol plate on her. I think she's up there with one of those characters from 44, especially when you leave Tika 3 out of the equation. So,
shout out Dummy Danny.
Mm-hmm. I think she was definitely the best player outside of the Tika 3, no question.
I agree.
Yeah, I love Franny.
All right. Well, I was not going to pick Franny. I'm going to pick another guy, and it's shocking. Ryan having 4 out of his 5 guy spots taken. Mm-hmm. I think Jacob's going to steal this guy. I think he deserves a second chance so badly. He was on the original second chance ballot. Shane Powers and your Rock Blackberry on my team. Look, there's been no guy closer to making a Survivor season than Shane. He was supposed to be on Fans vs. Favorites. He decided not to cast him last minute. Heroes vs. Villains, he was on the Tribe. They replaced him with Russell Hantz last minute. They even said Shane was on the cast, but once we saw Russell, we decided to replace Shane with Russell. Why they did that? No idea. They wanted him and his son back for Blood vs. Water. Jeff openly said Shane is the one person he thought was the lock to get on the cast, how much they wanted him on the cast. Didn't get on. One of the most underrated jury speeches of all time. Truly an incredible character. He was wild. He also defends terrain on stuff, so I love him for that. Fantastic player. Love Shane Powers. I need him back on TV again. It is a shame he's not playing again, but yeah, Shane Powers, welcome to Team Ryan.
Shane should have been my first pick, honestly. He should have been my
I
first.
knew you were going to take him eventually.
I was so stupid. I didn't write him down because for some reason, my mind had him as like playing twice because he was on the second chance ballot, but he never fucking did. Yeah. It's Shane. I've never laughed harder at a Survivor player than I had with Shane. Shane was the comedy gold. I love Shane so much. I would have loved to have him.
Yeah. Abdul, how do you think Shane and Carolyn would interact in the same tribe?
Two crackheads on one tribe. I don't know. The island's gonna explode. That'd be a lot of TV in one episode. That's for sure. But I think it'll be fun. I think people always talk about Shane returning, and so he's definitely. I think he should be at the front of the mind of the producers when it comes to Survivor 50. I don't think actually that it's that out of this world that like he might actually show up, but no, I think he would add a lot if he was on Survivor 50, and we need one of those real, organic, raw, crazy people. You know what I'm saying? And that's what he delivers. So, great pick.
Sure. Well, Jacob, be the next pick. Are you going to pick an organic, raw, crazy person?
Maybe.
Right.
I don't know exactly who I'm picking yet. I think I have to. I'm going to pick two people who are on just two completely opposite people, two opposite sides of the spectrum. I'm going Natalie Bolton from the First Fans Favorites, and I'm going Andy.
You stole Andy from me.
Give me both of them.
Took both? Oh.
That is shocking, I'm not going to lie.
Is it shocking? I mean, Andy's not very shocking.
I think Andy and Natalie are polar opposites. Natalie's jury speech actually came up on my Twitter timeline this week. That was shocking. Forgot about that a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
It was the alternate for Heroes vs. Villains. People in the superfan community have wanted her back for a while. She, I think, wants to play again. Put her on the cast.
Two players who are both electric television. Like I was talking about Shan being one of the best villains. Natalie Bolton was almost one of those first, like, really big female villains. And she was so much fun. She didn't get a lot of airtime throughout the first part of the game, but as she slowly picked up her airtime, so did her confessional, so did her entertainment value. And it was so much fun to like watch her turn into like this really cutthroat villain. And she absolutely deserves a second chance. She's one of the better confessionalists that we've never seen back. And then Andy, you guys all know how much I love Andy and think that his comeback was just absolutely incredible. So
I thought Andy was going to drop to me. I'm not going to lie. Ava, how do you feel that you're up? Andy's taken off the board.
Oh, I'm good, actually. I don't need Andy on my screen again. But I do love Natalie. She was probably going to be one of my next two picks as well. I don't have a lot of people on my list from like really like old school Survivor. Like Micronesia was back there in the past. But I do think Natalie was a really dominant player, and it was fans' favorites. Those favorites just like overshadowed in terms of gameplay and in terms of airtime because they were people that the viewers wanted to see. So I think she got overshadowed a lot, but I think she was a great player, and I'm jealous. She probably would have been next on my list.
Right, for sure. Abdul, thoughts with Natalie Bolton being taken? And Andy?
Definitely solid pick. I think Micronesia as a whole was a great season, and she contributed to the, I'd say, most infamous alliance ever. So yeah, no, Natalie was great on Micronesia. It's a shame we didn't see her on Heroes versus Villains, but she definitely would have been a good villain to have. So yeah, it was a good pick.
For For sure. Well, I have the next pick. Christian, I'm going to shout out you really quick. I'm going to pick a player who's really big in the actuary science community. Chrissy, welcome to my team.
No, that was, bruh, this is not going well for me.
Yeah, one of the best female challenge competitors of all time.
Oh,
I would have voted for her in that final tribal. I think she's one of the most underrated strategic players as well. Really good mind for this game. You wouldn't expect someone like her to do that well at Survivor per se. I really want to see Chrissy play again. I think she should have won her season. Yeah. Chrissy, welcome to my team.
Heroes, Healers, Hustlers is such an underrated season because of the ending with the surprise fire making and Ben finding idols and winning. It's regarded as a very bad season, but it is one of the best gameplay seasons ever, along with some amazing characters. Chrissy's one of them. I love Chrissy.
Ava, you seem pretty visually mad.
Well, I'm trying to plan ahead of who I want to pick, and first it was Natalie, then it was Chrissy, so I'm like, but is Abdul just gonna take the next person I'm thinking of, or no, I love Chrissy. I think she's a great pick. Another person I'm jealous that I don't have at this point.
Yeah, for sure. Well, Abdul, you're up. Who's your next pick?
All right. I think I'm gonna head back to the boys. I think the rest of my girls will be safe from the likes of you guys. So I'm gonna go personal favorite. This guy, he's from one of the most underrated, overhated seasons of Survivor. Give me Ken. Ken from Gabon. Gabon.
Interesting.
There's a lot of those, I know. No, interesting. Listen, Ken is one of the, I think, he's the epitome of an underdog, right? Start of the game, you look at him, he's a weak little nerdy gamer, you know what I'm saying? And you think he has a lot of ideas, but he has no chance at letting anything come to fruition. Over time, we definitely see him take those thoughts down. I mean, immediately he's integrated on his tribe. He's doing well. He loses his number one, right? The girl he was crushing on. But I think after that, he puts himself in a great power position throughout the rest of the game. We see him cause a lot of flips on power players. Crazy moves were made by Ken throughout the entire season. And he's definitely going to be one of the very few people in Survivor to have that out of the box thinking. Right, he caused those flips and he flipped Susie, did all that, and then even towards the end, right, probably part of the reason why he went home was he wanted to get Bob, the old guy, to give up immunity.
Old guy, as in the winner of the season.
The old guy, yes, yes, Robert. He got Bob to give up immunity. Sorry, he wanted to get Bob to give him immunity, and although it probably was never going to work, he's one of the few people that's going to try to do that, that's going to have those ideas form and actually, put it into existence. So yeah, give me Ken.
Yeah. I'm not going to lie. I'm not a big Gabon fan. People can hate me all they want. Don't love Gabon. I think Ken was the best player in that season. I'll give you that.
I love Ken. Ken's one of my all-time favorites too. Love that game.
Sure. Ava, what do you think?
Another person I had to look up because it's been a really long time since I've seen Gabon. But yeah, I do. Now, as you were describing the season to me, it was coming back to me. But I do think that's a really solid pick. I was like that. He was not even on my radar, but I do think that was a good choice.
Right, for sure. Well, Ava, you're now up. You have 2 picks. You're gonna pick.
Oh boy. I'm floating between 3 people, all from the same season. To be honest with you right now. Okay. My first pick, I'm really going for it with the guys because I have so few of them. Do I want to do this? Yeah, I'll do Rick Devens. Yeah, I got some reactions there, but I feel like he's one of the more solid players. Please just I'm just reading the comments. Of the men on my list, I feel like he's one of the more solid game players. And I did really enjoy watching him. I feel like he's really polarizing to people, but I was a fan.
I was also a fan. I love Rick Devens. I was rooting for him that season. I thought he had a great underdog story, one of the better confessionalists of all time. The whole news segment I loved. I think he's a lock to come back for 50. I know Jeff loves him, so I think it's a great pick.
Ryan approved pick. My next pick, I'm debating between two women, both from that season. One who's might feel like a better player, but one I like better.
I think I know who you're debating between.
Oh, wait, I don't know.
I know who you're talking about.
Okay, I'm picking the person I like better. I'm going with Lauren.
Ugh.
Oh, was that one of your picks?
Lauren is one of my all-time Survivor crushes.
I thought you were going to pick.
I was actually had Lauren on my next pick.
I'm surprised you didn't pick all your crushes. I'm surprised.
I'll just wait till my next pick.
I love Lauren. I love even.
You're referring to Lauren O'Connell, correct?
Yeah, from that same season. I was gonna say something. Oh, I feel like, Michael Wright from why can't I think of the name of 38? Edge of Extinction. From Edge of Extinction. I feel like her and Wentworth were fantastic. I love just like keeping up with the two of them on social media. I feel like they're such like cute IRL friends. That's not really why I picked her though. I think she has a lot of potential as a player as well to come back, especially to come back without those couple of returning players. I think it would be really interesting to see her with not like apparently I didn't pick the best Lauren available according to Michael Wright. But I feel like especially if she were to come back without kind of those couple of returning players in there, I feel like she would have really interesting gameplay. And I just love Lauren. I picked my other person I feel like was a better strategist, but I don't care. I'm going for vibes, remember?
Yeah, I met Lauren. She was my number one pick on the board available. Great pick. Duel. What'd you think with the Lauren pick?
Pretty solid. I can't say I remember her all that much. But as the second part to
off the challenge.
Huh?
She passed out on the challenge where you have to like hold the block.
No, I remember that.
Okay.
But I just feel like, she's a good pick. She her and Kelly Wentworth did a lot together. And I think she was able to not be too overshadowed by Kelly. Despite that, she was her own character in a lot of different ways. So definitely Lauren is up there, I'd say, with the with people that should get a second chance.
For sure. Well, Abdul, Lauren's off the table, but who's your next pick?
Honestly, I think I can just start going crazy. I don't know if any of you guys would ever think, no. Actually, okay. All right, I'm going back to the girls. I have two that I'd say might be up there in terms of popularity. One of them is more obvious, though, because she was on the first ballot. So I'm going to take Mama C.
That's a good pick.
Give me Carolyn.
Why'd you want to choose Carolyn with your next pick?
I think she was robbed, to be quite frank. Listen, Mike, he definitely has a great story. He pushed through. He did a lot. He faced a lot of adversity and came out of it. But Mama C pretty much had her own firm grasp on the game for like the majority of it, except for one round. In that one round, she played an idol. You know what I'm saying? So she was good. She always had a way out. She always had a way in. I think the jury definitely didn't give her enough love for the game that she played. I think, coming into a game like Survivor, you definitely wouldn't expect her to do well. But she did. She honestly did a superb job throughout the entire way. So when it comes to that finale, you have Mike and Mama C. I was rooting for Mama C all the way, personally. So that's why I had to pick her.
I will say Jeff had publicly stated Carolyn had a guaranteed spot in the next All-Star season after Game Changers. Will that still happen? That's a great question. Jacob, are you a big Worlds Apart fan?
Yeah, Worlds Apart, kind of like Shane and Exile Island, I think is one of the funniest seasons. Not all the horrible things that happened during it, but aside from that, all the characters mixed together made for some really funny stuff. But it's just like a character season. You're not going to really watch this season for the most amazing gameplay. And I don't know. Mike and Carolyn, to me, they weren't as like the most compelling final three. I don't even consider Will to be part of the final three. But
No.
you know, to me, it didn't matter too much whether Mike or Carolyn won. I liked both of them. I would have liked to see Carolyn win, and I think she deserves another shot. So yeah,
For sure. Well, Carolyn's off the table. I have the next pick. Ava, you screwed me up. I had an order that kind of like mixed me up because I might want to take who I think you were considering. Between three names, one girl I don't think any of you are going to take, but I think someone in the chat will make fun of me for that pick. Michael Wright. Between two,
picking Sue. You're picking Sue.
I'm going to go with Lauren Ashley Beck from Island of the Idols.
Another Lauren.
See, I actually agree with Ava. I like Lauren O'Connell better.
I like Lauren O'Connell better, but I think Ashley Beck is the better player.
Yeah.
I think she essentially ran that season with Tommy, and I don't think she gets enough credit based on the edit. I also hate Island of the Idols. We don't have to talk about why, because I think we all know, but it's a really hard season to watch. She played a dominant game that season. She had control the entire time with Tommy. I think at times she played better than Tommy, but I think Tommy just had a better end game stretch, had more connections, but I think she's a fantastic player. She's someone who has done a lot of exit press for different networks, so she's really good at talking. I think she's an underrated confessionalist. I think she has a lot of potential in this game. I think if she comes back, she'd do really well. Really underrated player. I think she's a really good player as also. So yeah, Lauren Ashley Beck, welcome to my team.
Nice.
Jacob.
Anyone a big Island of the Idols fan?
And nobody says anything ever. Like,
I will
no.
say, someone on your Ava Jacob, someone who played your season of NBC Survivor, said their player comp was Tommy Sheehan. Any guesses?
Wait, someone that we played with?
Yep.
Was it? I don't know. Torrin?
It's not
Yeah, I was
Torrin.
going to say Torrin too.
It's not Torrin.
Who would say Tommy?
It's
wait, on season 2.
On season 2, Abdul, any guesses?
Josh?
Yes, it was Josh.
That makes a lot of sense. Josh
I
did.
can see the vision. I can see the vision.
That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Josh said he wants to play like Tommy Sheehan, so that is his wish.
Interesting.
Tommy Sheehan also had a really memorable moment on the challenge when he was on the challenge of Spies Less Than Allies. His pants came off in the middle of the challenge, and he had a concussion. Yeah, that
I
was.
forgot about him on Spies Like Allies.
I did also, but besides that,
Because he wasn't in very long. Spoiler alert.
yeah, he got a concussion after the water challenge where his pants fell down. That was something else.
Wow. That's incredible. Good
He was
stuff.
more entertaining on the challenge than everyone was in Survivor. He was on the challenge for like 3 episodes.
Yeah, that's true. He was doing
Poor
something.
Tommy. He's known as like the most boring person ever. That's
Yeah.
right.
Well, it's not teaching time with Tom anymore. Jacob, you have the next 2 picks. So you're going to choose.
Okay, so I think I want to go with 2. I'm afraid that some of the women might be chosen, but I'm not sure. Especially if Abdul's women are niche, as he says. I'm going with 2 new era men, I think. Okay, I'm going with 2 new era. I'm going to pick Omar from 42.
Good pick.
And actually, now I'm debating for my second guy here. This will be my last guy to round out my team. There's actually like 5 dudes who I think I'm kind of like floating in between. I'm going to go with Cody. I'm going to go with Omar and Cody as my 2 picks.
That's a good pick.
And yeah, I think, like I said, I think Omar, other than Jesse, up to the point where he got blindsided by Marianne very epically, that he was playing the most dominant game we had seen in the new era. Like, obviously, of the first 2 seasons, but even past that, other than Jesse, I do think that up until that point, Omar was playing like the most dominant game strategically that we have seen. Vote after vote, it was him pulling the strings completely. And to me, he was doing it in a very entertaining way. Even more so entertaining than Jesse, in my opinion. Although Jesse, I do think, is the better player in the end. I think Omar was more entertaining. And Omar definitely thinks deserves a second chance. I think he probably would be screwed on coming back along with Jesse. I think they would both be screwed coming back, but he'd be very fun. And then Cody, the counterpart to Jesse. Cody was a lot better at this game than people realized, at least people at home realized. He probably beats Jesse at the end just because of how social he was and how charismatic he was. And he was making moves along with Jesse. And at the vote where Jesse blindsides Cody, Cody was fully making his own moves, coming up with a great plan to get rid of Carla before Jesse took it from him. And so I think Cody also has a great, great shot when he comes back too, because I think he'll be underestimated. And he was a lot of fun to watch. Super fun.
Yeah, 2 6th placers you just both picked. I think they're both really good picks. I think Omer is one of the best strategic thinkers we've had in Survivor in a very long time. Really good at a lot of aspects of the game. I think he's someone who I honestly think he was playing the best game that season throughout the entire time. And Cody, what just impresses me about him so much is he's not even a fan of Survivor, but he picked up the game so quickly. Was doing a lot of really smart moves, using his sales techniques, pulled a lot of strings, was being a puppet master for a while with Jesse. Yeah, great picks.
Ryan.
All right. So the challenge in the CU did say, has anyone picked Cassidy? I don't know what's going on, but that's what they know who I'm thinking. Yeah, so for those who don't know, I am a very avid Cassidy supporter. I openly think Cassidy should beat Gabler. I will stand by that opinion.
Gabler deserved it.
I would have voted Cassidy over Gabler. No offense, Gabler. I know you and Jake are great friends. Heard great things about you from Jacob.
I just texted him what you did. Yeah. You said
he's not eligible for the draft. He won. Yeah, so I'm being Cassidy. I think she is someone who is very disrespected in the Survivor community. I think her poor, what's the word, perception of the jury sours people's taste in the community to kind of lower their opinion on Cassie. I think she played a great game. I think she controlled some parts of the gameplay. I don't think a lot of people fully realize. I think she was kind of the brains between the whole Omer and Gabler alliance. I think she was someone really entertaining, has a lot of personality that we didn't really get to see. I love Cassidy. I think she deserves a second chance. She came this close. She was so close to winning. Yeah, give me Cassidy.
She was my next pick. So yeah. No, the second somebody said, has anybody picked Cassidy? I was like, no, shut up. Don't say
whoever's running that count knows who I'm thinking. I'm kind of scared.
I was like, no.
This now happens twice.
Yeah. Anyways, that's a great pick. I am also Team Cassidy. Should have beat Gabler. No, I'm sorry. I love Gabler as a person. Like, big fan. As a Survivor player, less of a fan.
Abdul, who would you vote for, Gabler or Cassidy?
Cassidy all the way. I thought that Dre vote was embarrassing. I was completely shocked. I was literally like screaming in my little dorm room when I watched that. I was like, what? I think by far that was the most shocking vote. No hate to Gabler. I mean, he did what he had to do, I guess. But I think Cassie like 100% deserved it over him. She like tried at least harder, I feel, to actually play the game. She won the immunities. She was out there throwing names. She was really trying to put herself in a position to win that I don't necessarily think Gabler was. So in my eyes, she's the winner of 43. But she's definitely a great pick for a second chance. By far one of the most, I'm not going to say Rob, but she definitely, I think, needs a second chance to show what she can do.
Jacob is Gabler's friend. How do you feel about this?
Well, what Michael writes comment, how is Gabler considered one of the worst winners ever? And you lose to him and you're considered a good player. It's a great point. It's a great point. Cassie lost to him. What was the vote? 8-1? What is it in the new era? 7-1?
Something like that.
Yeah.
Then was Russell Hans a good player or is he a bad player?
Well, I think Russell, there's difference because Russell, I think, is a good player. Strategically, he's a bad social player.
Well, Boston Rob lost to Andrew.
Lost to Sandra. And
considered a bad player.
Sandra's considered a great player. Sandra's won twice. Yeah. You know what I mean? But basically, Gabler was able to put palm fronds on people while they were sleeping, and he hid in plain sight. Cassie didn't do either of those things. And so she didn't.
Good. That's really what pushes him over the edge.
Yes. And Gabler had a lovely beard with a lot of tattoos. One of the coolest looking people to win Survivor. It's so good that Abdul.
He's one of the coolest looking people to ever win Survivor.
So good that Abdul froze. Abdul he just couldn't handle how good Gabler was, so he froze.
Right.
Right. Well, Cassie's off the board. Abdul, leave the next pick. Abdul, who you're gonna choose?
Wait, am I at 3 guys or 4?
You have 3 guys and 4 girls.
You gotta pick Sue.
Who's doing that? Not me.
Apparently, it's gonna be
you. Okay, I'm gonna. I probably need to think about my guys a little more, so I'm gonna go. I'm gonna wrap up the girls part of my tribe. Let's go back to one of the most hated seasons of all time. Deservedly so. Island of the Idols.
No.
I'm going to make a return because I really want Kelly Kim on my team. Miss Two Idols herself.
That's a good pick.
Great
Big
pick.
Move Sally. She got, I don't even know if we can call it a robbery. It was insane. The way she went home is just like, it's inhumane. That's how crazy it was. She 100%.
Wait, Abdul, who did you say? I was responding to a comment.
Kelly Kim.
Okay.
Kelly.
I was like, I wasn't paying attention.
You know, she's one of the few people in Survivor as a whole to wield two idols at once. She made a massive move right before hitting the merge, and she's one of those players that I really like that are able to think of a good move and then actually put pen to paper, actually like execute when they want to, when they need to. So, and like I said before, she got insanely robbed for one of the worst, you know what I'm saying? So, yeah, give me Kelly Kim. Put her on second chances now. We need it. She needs it. We all need it.
Yeah, I believe her and James are the only people to get voted out with two idols in their pocket. What a tragic episode. I was very livid with my TV at that time. Yeah.
That's the worst episode ever in Survivor.
It is the worst episode in TV history.
Yeah. I love Kelly. So much. Kelly was so strategic. Like everything she did was like very entertaining. She was so she was like very underratedly cutthroat. Like she was willing to do absolutely anything to win that game.
Yeah.
She knew Dean also ahead of time, correct?
Yeah, she did.
Yeah, she got very unlucky. Knew Dean, had the whole incident happen. Mm-hmm. Give her a fair chance. Go on, CBS.
I would agree.
All right. Well, Ava, you have two picks now.
Okay. Firstly, I'm gonna pick another Kelly. One of my favorite new era women, even though she didn't make it very far, and that is Kelly from 45. Okay. I don't know. I think she was set up so well, and I was like, she's gonna win, and then she went out in dramatic fashion, as the greats do, quite early in the merge, and I was really surprised. And I think that if she had gotten kind of past that and wiggled through that little blip in the season, I think she would have set herself up very well to be very successful, and I would love to see her get a second chance. So I'm following the Kelly trend. Another Kelly.
Yeah, one of my favorite vote outs of all time. Great reaction.
What the hell, guys?
That was a flawless episode, in my opinion.
Yeah, that was a good one.
She was decently high on my list. I'd love to see her play again.
Yeah. Right. Okay. Kelly's up the board. Who's your next pick?
My next pick to round out my guys, I'm really in recent new era mode, is another person a lot of people argue could have won, seated at the end, and that is Charlie from 46.
That was my next pick. That was my next pick.
I'm getting a lot of thumbs down. I am.
Oh, I have thumbs down for another reason, but you can continue.
I am a huge Kenzie fan. So in no way am I saying that Kenzie should have lost to him. Like, obviously there's the whole Maria Charlie thing, whatever. I'm not going to get into that. But I think Kenzie deserved to win 100%. I do think that Charlie was another great player and also would have deserved to win had he won. And so I feel like a second chance for him would be really interesting, and to see like what he could do with that. I don't know if he would be as successful if he was to play again, because people like know what he can do, and that's for everybody. But I feel like he is somebody who could get like have a lot of people who have preconceived notions of him. But I think seeing Charlie play again would be very interesting.
I would have voted for Charlie at the end. The whole Maria fiasco was wild.
Kenzie, the love of my life. No, I love Kenzie, so I will not say that. But I do think Charlie would have also deserved to
win. For sure. I'm just curious, Abdul, Jacob, in that final tribal council between Charlie and Kenzie, who would you vote for?
From what I saw on TV, probably Charlie. I think Charlie played the better game strategically, and at the time where Kenzie won, I was a little upset. Looking back on it, I'm not that upset. I like Kenzie more than Charlie. Kind of like Carson, I think Charlie was a great player, but just very boring to watch. So that was my, I thought Kenzie was a lot more fun. So that's kind of the reason why I'm glad Kenzie won.
Abdul, what about you?
Yeah, no, I'm definitely in the same boat as Jacob when it comes to like wanting to win. I definitely think, I mean, I just like Kenzie a lot more. She was more entertaining um, to just watch. I think she was super funny in confessionals. Um, and would I have voted for her if I was on the jury? Probably not. But I don't think Charlie's game was actually that great either. I think it was very simple. He didn't end up actually doing much, and I think that's a very easy game to play, not necessarily a game I personally respect. And so I think Kenzie is a great winner. I think she, deserved it in a different way than him. I would probably give him my vote, but I thought he was a boring player, TBH.
He can name 100 Taylor Swift songs.
Yeah, well,
Probably could too.
No, yeah, and good for him. Good for him. Yeah.
Ava's just got the two boring vanilla white guys on her team. Carson.
Okay.
I had to watch paint dry for an hour, and that would be like what it would be like to hang out with the two of them.
Yeah, this tribe is very.
I'd rather hang out with them than hang out with people who are crazy.
Well, it depends. It depends. If I wanted like the SAT, then yeah.
Abdul, will you draft someone crazy or someone who's going to take the SAT?
Listen, you know what I love to see when it comes to Survivor. I just told you how boring Charlie was. Get the Charlies out of here. And give me the Romes.
Nope.
Give me Rome. Give me Rome. Give me Rome. Listen, one of the worst players to ever play the game. One of the best characters to ever graze my TV screen. One of the best confessionalists. He's all around.
Is he?
Honestly, what?
Is he one of the best confessionalists of all time?
I think so.
Absolutely not. That's crazy.
Okay, well, we know your opinion, Ava. You can, all right. Listen, he had his own episode. They gave him his own little previously on,
which was crazy.
They don't throw that around.
Crazy.
He literally sat in Jeff Probst's seat. Rome is that guy.
No.
Rome is that guy. He played hard. He went hard in every shape and form possible.
No.
I don't got Rome. I don't got Rome on my team, but I'm with Abdul. I loved Rome. He was great TV. I loved watching him.
Yeah.
Like if I'm watching Survivor, give me the entertainment. Give me the person who's going to be, making the screen pop. That was Rome.
Yeah, I don't want to see Rome play again. He was a one-hit wonder.
He was a one-hit not wonder.
He's not going to play again because he's spoiled the boot list.
Idiot.
That's neither here nor there.
I saw the video. He did. He is a freestyle rapper other than that.
Rome's definitely on the Mount Rushmore of Survivor. New era. Yeah.
Of the dumbest players to ever play the game.
Yeah, of idiot number 5. Like, come on.
Him, Q, Andy, and Gabler.
Yeah. Dumb, dumber, dumb.
And look, call him an idiot. But a lot of people claim, oh, when I get on Survivor, I'm gonna do this. He actually did it. He found the advantages, he found the idols, and guess what? He's the reason why he stayed. Okay? He has some game to him.
Abdul, is your next pick gonna be Kyle so the two of them can fight?
Huh?
Is your next pick gonna be Kyle so the two of them can fight on their tribe?
Oh yeah, that'd be cool to see. I still want to know what Kyle said on that beach, but
He called Sue and Caroline Tweedledee and Tweedledum.
That's one story.
That's multiple people confirming that happened.
Let me tell you, I'm a Rome believer. That's all I'll say on that. That's all I'll say.
He's so for real.
Yeah. Hard pass. It's not going to pick Rome. Yeah. So I have one guy left, one girl left. I'm tempted to pick Asia just because I want to pick Asia, but I'm not going to pick her. Hurts my heart. Cannot pick her. I want to go with an MSU connection, so I thought about Jacqueline, but I'm not going to choose Jacqueline. Ava, I thought you were going to take this person. I have to pick her. I think she was one of the best players of her season. I think she got screwed over by a twist. Victoria from Survivor Edge of Extinction.
It was between Victoria and Lauren.
Yeah, I think Victoria was the best player of Edge of Extinction for a while. I think basically the whole Edge of Extinction twist kind of screwed her. I think if Edge of Extinction just ended at pre-merge, Rick Devens returns after that. Doesn't happen again the entire season. I do think Victoria wins. I don't think people really realize how good she was strategically. She was basically in the center of all the alliances, and she wasn't doing that. And she wasn't really out there, but once kind of Chris exposed her game, there's nothing really she could do. And even then, Chris played an idol. Got kind of screwed over. I think Victoria's a great player. Want to see her play again. I think she's a little quiet, but she has a lot of spark in her. I think she can do really well in a return. Victoria, welcome to my tribe.
Edge of Extinction is another season that had a great cast, just kind of overshadowed by the Edge of Extinction twist.
It's a terrible twist.
But the cast is good. Victoria's a good pick.
Yeah.
Right. So Jacob, you have the next pick. Make one pick first, because then we'll reset for the final rounds.
Okay. Well, I want to start off by saying that after reading, I think it was Michael Wright. After reading Michael Wright's comment, I'm regretting picking Cody, and I should have picked Sean Rector. But my guys are all finished, so I can't do that anymore. I would totally pick Sean. And I also I don't know if I should have picked Omar, whatever.
Omar was a good pick.
Omar was a good pick for sure. I wanted to combine my entertainment that I had with the first half with some strategy, but I'm now debating if I should have just gone full entertainment. And picked, my guys are done, so I could say it. Maybe I would have picked War Dog, dude. I love War Dog.
I was considering War Dog also.
And then, but I have two girls left, so my first girl that I will pick will be, I'm going to pick Janet. I'm going to pick Janet from Island of the Idols.
Three Island of the Idol players involved.
I was about to say, a lot of Island of the Idols love. Out of all of them, I think Lauren definitely was the one controlling the game more than Janet, but Janet, I still think destroys Lauren at the final vote because of just how likable she is, how good of a social player she was. And if it weren't for that Idol Nullifier twist, she would have been sitting in that final four. She would have at least been in fire making. So I think out of everybody who got robbed the most, it was Janet because of that dumbass Idol Nullifier twist that Dean just got handed to him by Boston Rob and Sandra. Why are Boston Rob and Sandra even on the season?
Exactly.
So Janet, yeah, not necessarily the most riveting television, but she was very warm, very nice. Want to have a mother figure on the tribe. Definitely a fan favorite who was robbed, and would love to see her back.
She would have won if it wasn't for that twist. So
right. And I have one last woman.
All right, yeah. So we're in the final rounds. 36 people have been picked so far. Me and Abdul have one guy left each. Ava and Jacob have one girl left each. Let's just all say our picks, make our final teams. After that, we'll discuss people who we thought about, but we ended up not picking. Yeah, we'll go from there. Right? Yeah, right. Yeah. Jacob, who's your final pick?
Yeah. Well, since I'm last, I can say who I'm debating between. There's two people. I'm debating between Venus and Sabaya. I want one of them. And I think, you know what? Only because of Abdul's reaction, I'm going with Sabaya. And that's honestly, I was leaning towards Sabaya anyways, and I'm leaning towards Sabaya because she deserves more of a second chance than Venus, because she was out so early, and she was out because of, I forgot all the dynamics of the tribal, but her burning the idol in the fire, she lost her vote. That it was the mechanic of the idol where it was new. She had to decide as she was voting whether or not to play, vote or tried to prolong her idol. She had no idea that Emily was flipping on her, and she could have seen that coming. But other than that, she obviously was a great player. She dominated the confessional time. The only 3 episodes she was in, she was playing the game super hard. So much potential. I want to see Sabaya with a second shot.
Yeah, of all the pre-mergers, I think she's the most likely one to return for a second chance from the new era.
Yeah,
I hope so.
Yeah, Abdul, you're a big Sabaya fan.
Not as much as I am a Caleb fan, but Sabaya, when I think about like pre-mergers that deserve a second chance, she's definitely like top. Jacob was touching on a little bit, like she lost her vote. She had an idol that she only got at that tribal. She could have tied the vote. She could have played the idol. There's so many ways she could have gotten out of that situation, and it was such a tight situation to begin with, where it's like, had all the votes been there, had she played her idol, she gets what she wants, and Caleb probably goes home. But I think it was very narrow for her. She didn't make it out alive, but I do think in another season with different circumstances, I think if you see her play, 10 times, she probably makes it to the merge 8 times, maybe even 9. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think she's a very good player, and we didn't get to see enough of her.
Yeah, for sure. Sabaya, very underrated player. Love to have her have a second chance. But it's not my time to pick my final pick. I'm between a few people. Not gonna lie, I'd love to pick Marty Piomba from Survivor Nicaragua, one of the most underrated characters in Survivor history. Though I don't think anyone's gonna know who he is besides 4 people.
I love Marty. Yeah.
I'm a Marty fan.
I love Marty. I'm between 2 people from the same season, both from San Luis Sur. Love to pick John Nish, former MSC football player, very underrated player. I'm gonna go with who I think the better player is. He was my friend's theater coach, Josh Canfield. Welcome to my team.
Who?
Josh from San Luis Sur.
Okay. No, that's a good pick.
Do you know who that is?
No, I know who that is.
Why don't you give me your assessment on Josh right now?
Huh?
Give me your assessment on Josh right now.
No, he was good. I think he's probably, he was in like a duo. I forgot who's the other person's name?
Reed.
Oh, his boyfriend or something, right? Like, he's definitely the lesser of the two, I think, in my opinion, in terms of like character. But I think he could possibly be like the better player, and I think he definitely deserves a second shot because he went home in a moment where like his alliance was getting crumbled, and like, I feel like most times he probably does really well. He was on a pretty good season with I'd say a good cast, so maybe we see him succeed more than not.
Yeah. Ava's a theater major. Thoughts on Josh?
I really like Josh. He was somebody who I was like, Josh, and then it clicked exactly who he was. Yeah, I feel like he has a lot of potential. I don't know how he would do if he was to come back and play like at this point. But I think there's potential for him to be very successful.
Yeah. Jacob, are you a big San Juan Sur fan?
San Juan del Sur, I feel like people like it more than I do. I don't dislike San Juan del Sur, but it's not my favorite season. Josh was a good player. He wasn't my favorite. I could see him coming back. I wouldn't be super stoked to see him back, but like I wouldn't be pissed either. He's just kind of a bit of a nothing burger for me.
My logic was this. I think he's one of the more better players that's kind of been forgotten on Survivor history.
Mm-hmm.
He was really dominating his tribe. It was kind of like the Josh versus Jeremy dynamic. He gets voted out, the Jeremy gets voted out. Then essentially it's kind of like Natalie taking over from that. Reed has a very memorable jury speech, the Wicked Stepmother speech, which is fantastic, but I just think Josh was a better strategic player. Formed a relationship with Missy really early on Baylor really early on in the game. Had a lot of strategic prowess to him. He was not working with the best allies. I would not call Wes Nail a Survivor genius by any means. But
Wes wasn't picked.
Sadly, R.I.P. Wes. R.I.P. not in this draft. R.I.P. Keith. But yeah, I think he's a very underrated player. I think he deserves a second chance. He was asked to be in Survivor Second Chance, but couldn't do it due to a Broadway contract agreement. So I think hopefully he plays again. I'd love to see it.
Cool.
Yeah. Well, that completes my team. Abdul, you're up. Who's your final pick?
For this last pick, I think, where it's getting down to the wire, and I think I'm not worried about popularity anymore. What I am worried about is entertainment. Still, if this is it's not just Survivor, it's a TV show. We're going to be watching this. The viewers are going to be watching this. I want entertainment. I want somebody exciting. And I want somebody polarizing. He's a little older, but he's definitely one of the most notable players on his cast. Give me John Robert.
John Robert, that's crazy.
Final answer. Give me John Robert.
That is crazy.
What?
Listen,
I was not expecting you to put John Robert out of thin air.
I was just watching Survivor China with Leah, and she said that John Robert is her least favorite player of all time.
Polarizing.
On my list too.
Polarizing. It is polarizing.
Why are you John Robert fan, Abdul?
Players on his team.
Listen. Do people like him? No. Do I like him? Not necessarily. But for somebody to deny him of his character, of what he brought to our TV screens, there would be no Courtney if there wasn't a John Robert. Let's be real.
That's a stretch. That's
a stretch.
Is this true? Did Christian tell you to pick John Robert?
I can't answer these questions. But what I will say is John Robert did give us good TV. He gave us rivalry. He gave us negativity. And, we need somebody bold like him on the cast. I think a lot of the older seasons had bold people. He's top, and I think we're losing that when it comes to the new era. I think we want, I want to see the boldness come back. And I think John Robert delivers that. So
for my
last spot, I'm picking John Robert.
One of my favorite moments is when Todd just shuts him up at the final trial and he just completely blanks. I love that moment so much.
Yeah.
Say what you want. He's right. John Robert, he delivered on an entertainment standpoint in terms of being polarized in television.
It was something all right.
Mm-hmm.
John Robert was the steal of the draft. That might get Abdul the win single-handedly.
Look, he is a poker player. I mean, he probably has some strategic prowess. He came up with the John
strategic prowess.
What's his name? The James Blindside, and Todd stole it from him. He was that good.
Actually, I would say Amanda did that.
Sprinkle some social game on John Robert.
I would credit Amanda more for that, but whatever you say.
Would there be a Russell Hantz if there was no John Robert?
Let's think about it.
Would there be Tony? Would there be Parvati without John Robert?
These are the questions. These are questions.
Well, let's talk about some of the guys who did not get drafted. Now the guys are all taken. Jay from Millennials Gen X, who has made a name in the challenge, not picked. Xander from Survivor 41. Same with Sean. Danny McCrae. I have Ryan Ulrich from Heroes Hustlers. Austin, Sam, Owen Knight, John Cody, Reynolds, John Mish, Long Live Jelinski, don't pick Saul, Gabe.
Don't pick Saul. No, I love Saul.
Out of all those guys, I would have wanted Jay on my team. Out of all those guys,
I didn't even think about Jay. In my head, he's played more than once.
If Jay wasn't on the challenge, I would have picked him.
Yeah, in my head, because he's done so much with the challenge, he's played more than once, and so he didn't even cross my mind.
Yeah, I might have maybe picked Jay over Cody, but I guess Cody's more recency bias.
Donathan, I have from Ghost Island running down. Dr. Mike. Come on, guys.
Dr. Mike. And as I said before, I would have picked Sean Rector, but I forgot to put Sean Rector down on my list.
Sean Rector deserves a second chance.
Absolutely.
He's my other one.
I have War Dog, Bryce Isaiah, Hayden Moss from Blood vs. Water.
Oh, that's a deep-seated pick. That would have been a good one.
Yeah, if he had not won Big Brother, I would have probably picked him. Yeah, those are from the people. Let's go back to Ava. You're the final pick in the draft. Who is it going to be?
I still have so many. I have so many girls that were not chosen. Yeah. I will run them down for you since I have the last pick. So my very recent new era girlies. I have Carolyn from last season. I have Maria from 46. I have Tiffany from 46. I have Katura. I have Carla from 43. I have Lindsay from 42, and I have Libby from 39. And those are my newer.
Libby was on
36.
36. Yeah.
Oh, I wrote it down wrong. Okay, well, still I stand. Yeah, you're right. I just typed the wrong number. I don't know. I have so many recent.
I'll name a few more when you think. We got Missy and Baylor. We got Nadia Anderson, Val Collins, the great Reem Daly, who I almost picked.
Oh my gosh, I can't stand Reem.
I would pick Shambo. Pick Shambo.
That was a good pick. Crystal Cox, Nyanka, Purple Kelly.
Purple Kelly.
Nyanka, yeah. Give me Nyanka back. Come on.
I'm not picking Purple Kelly, but I do love Purple Kelly. I'm going with Tiffany.
From 46?
46.
All right.
Yeah. I know I have all exclusively women from the last 10 seasons, 9 seasons. But my old school women were taken. So yeah, I'm going Tiffany. I love Tiffany. I feel like she had a lot of potential to, if she had made it through that period where there was a lot of guns pointed at her for being a threat. I think she could have easily taken that crown from Kenzie if they had swapped spots there and different things had happened. I think she had a lot of a lot of potential. I know Nadia Anderson would also have been really high on my list, even though she flopped when she played. I love the Twinnies. Another one of my amazing race people, but yeah, I'm going with Tiffany as my last pick. Closing it out.
Fun fact, both her and Natalie have both been the first boot on Survivor and The Amazing Race.
Oh, yeah, I forgot they were the first boot on that All-Star season.
Amazing Race spoilers. Come on, Ryan.
Okay, it happened like 10 years ago.
Yeah, I might watch it one day.
It didn't happen yesterday, guys.
But Jacob, what do you think about the Tiffany pick?
Tiffany's a good pick. Tiffany was kind of overshadowed a bit, I would say, because she was on the Yanu tribe with Q and Kenzie and Jelensky and Banu. Tiffany was probably the best player on that tribe, at least start the pre-merge. She was the one who was number ones with Kenzie, number ones with Q, and just kind of got blindsided early in the merge for being that big of a threat. But because she was a bit overshadowed by all the amazing characters, I don't feel like I got too much from her, or as much as I think that we could have gotten from her. But I think that's why she could do very well in a second chance season, and she could provide a lot more. So I think it was a good choice.
Yeah. Jill, what are your thoughts on the Tiffany pick?
I think Tiffany's overrated, TBH. I think she's good.
Everybody's overrated, Abdul, except for the really obnoxious men, is what I'm hearing.
You're right.
Anyways, so
This is a good women pick. His men are
no. Okay, don't get me wrong. Tiffany was good. I think she probably deserves a second chance. I think towards the end of her run, she was a little more boring. I think she just got really overshadowed by Q for me. And then obviously,
she gets overshadowed by a man who's not good at Survivor and is just really annoying.
Hey, that's my number one choice right there.
Good TV.
Good TV, yeah, but Tiffany was a better Survivor player.
I wouldn't even say all that, TBH. But listen, no, good pick. Not my pick, but it's yours. So,
and you picked John Robert, so
okay,
the most annoying person ever.
John, so
Tiffany was really high on my list. So that concludes draft. Ava, your team in draft order, we had Genevieve, then Ricard, then Carson, then Mike White, then Emily Flippin, Rick Devins, Lauren O'Connell, Kelly from Survivor 45, Charlie, and Tiffany. What are your thoughts on your team?
Oh, sorry. I was reading the comments, totally not listening to you. I love my team. I'm very happy with it. I was expecting that all of the people that I had written down would go, and I would have literally just be grasping at straws from my memory. But I had many girls left over. I had 2 guys left over, so I'm very happy with my team. I feel like my knowledge of Survivor seasons of past that I haven't rewatched recently would not have allowed me to pick a lot of old school players, even though I would have wanted to. I would have had to do a lot of Survivor rewatching or scouring Reddit, but I did not. But I'm very happy with my team. It's very new era dominated, which for second chance, I feel like it's kind of going to be how it is.
How do you think the dynamics of your team would be? We have Tiffany and Charlie from the same season, Lauren and Rick, same season, a lot of new era people, Mike White kind of on the outs. How do you think the dynamics of your tribe would be?
I don't know. I'm trying to think. I feel like in comparison to y'all's tribes, I have less crazy dominant personalities. So I feel like there would be less rah right off the bat. Abdul's team is going to kill each other before they even get to the first challenge.
Oh, we'll get to Abdul's team pretty soon.
Abdul's tribe will be dead before they arrive at the challenge on the second day. They will not.
And that's what we love to see.
Everybody
That's what I want to see.
I don't want that. I want my successful tribe that will have a shelter and will be good at challenges. But I do feel like in general, I feel like most people are good, strategic, level-headed people. So I think for my tribe, it would be who could out strategy the others. It would be less about who's going to scream the loudest, like on Abdul's tribe.
Yeah, let's go to Abdul's tribe. Abdul, your tribe in draft order. From Survivor 43, Jesse. From Survivor 45, Caleb. From Survivor Token Jeans, Taj. From 44, you guessed it, Franny. From Survivor Gabon, Ken. Worlds Apart, Carolyn. Out into the Idols, Kelly. And from Survivor China, John Robert.
I love Franny. I would want Franny and Jesse.
I think you missed Rome. Did you say Rome? You guys Rome.
Oh, and Rome from Survivor 46.
Yep. Top tier tribe.
How do you think your tribe would go? How do you think Rome fits in on your tribe? Rome,
Listen,
John Robert, Caleb.
John Robert and Rome gone first too. Immediately probably, but I think there's always a chance. For those two, mainly Rome. I care about Rome making far, because like I think he was just super good on his first season. But otherwise, I feel like overall everybody else is pretty level-headed. Like I think I chose a lot of good players. Like when it comes to like Jesse and like Kelly, uh, and Kayla. Personally, I think Kayla was a good player. Whatever. A lot of out of the box people and thinkers. I think it's going to be entertaining 100%. And we're not just talking confessionals, we're talking gameplay too. I think it's going to be the most entertaining tribe on all fronts. Yeah.
I don't know about most entertaining tribe. I think my tribe is pretty entertaining, but hey, it's up to the audience to vote. Jacob, you're next. Your tribe in order. Survivor 46, Q. Heroes, Healers, Hustlers, Devin Pinto. David vs. Goliath, Angelina. From Survivor 41, Shan. From Survivor Fans vs. Favorites, Natalie Bolton. From Survivor 42, Omar. From Survivor 43, Cody. Survivor Out into the Idols, Janet. And Survivor 45, Sabaya.
You missed Andy.
Yeah, I was like, wait.
And Andy from Survivor 47.
Yes, sir. Look, I mean, Abdul's tribe is entertaining. He really picked up the entertainment value with Rome and John Robert. But look at these 5 names: Q, Andy, Angelina, Shan, Natalie Bolton. You think those 5 people are going to be boring TV? Those people are going to be unbelievable television. That's electric right there. I'm super happy with my team in terms of both entertainment value and strategy. I'm kind of regretting not going like full entertainment, just making the tribe super fun. Because towards the bottom, I got like Omer, Cody, Janet, Sabaya. Not to say that they're not entertaining, but they're more for like just who deserves a second chance the most and who plays the game well. But that's a good combination, right? You throw in Devin in there, who I think is the best one-time player to never win. And this tribe is stacked. Got a lot of game players and a lot of electric personalities.
What do you think the dynamics of a tribe's going to be?
I think we're going to have a couple people who are going to be really fighting for some power here. Q is obviously going to fight for power. Shan, Angelina is always going to fight for some power. There's going to be some smarter players like Devin and Omar who want to like maybe float under the scenes a little bit. So I think that some of the bigger personalities will clash. A couple of the big names will go home, and then we'll see one of the people who were under them start taking over the tribe. Maybe a Sabaya. Who knows?
I could see Sabaya running this entire show.
Yeah.
Well, I'm up. My tribe in order: from Survivor Ghost Island, Dominic Abate. Survivor David vs. Goliath, Christian Hubicki. From Survivor 44, Carolyn Weiger. David vs. Goliath, Davey Reichenbach. Survivor Panama, Shane Powers. From Island of the Idols, Lauren Ashley Beck. From Survivor 43, Cassidy Clark. Survivor Edge of Extinction, Victoria Bimande. From Survivor Samuel Del Sur, Josh Canfield. I think I and company need second chance best. I have some of the best players to ever win in Dominic and Christian. I have some of the most entertaining characters in Survivor history in Shane and Carolyn. I have Lauren, a really good player who's never won. Josh, someone who could use second chance to his most visibility. Victoria, someone who got really screwed over. Davey, huge fan favorite. I think I have a little mix of everything. I have some people who are really close to winning, some people got pretty screwed over in the merge. Some entertaining characters. I think I'm the best team, a little biased. Yeah.
I think your team has the most fan favorites.
I do think that is true, I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
Christian, Davey, Carolyn.
My team has the most Ava's favorites.
Really?
Nice breed.
Yeah. Well, yeah, that's our draft. So it's up to the audience to decide. The way it's going to work is we're going to send a poll to all the audiences who watch our very little to our podcast. Are all going to vote. Whoever gets the most votes will win.
What's the prize, Ryan? What are we getting?
We'll find out in the next podcast.
Yeah,
is it the actual prize?
It's the actual prize.
I want $50.
It's better than $50.
Oh, really? Okay, we'll see.
Better than that.
Well, sounds good.
You're gonna want to win this prize.
Cool. You're making this weird. I don't know what it is now.
Yeah, let's just have everyone do a final pitch before we end the podcast. Who wants to go first? Just why your team should win.
I don't think my team's gonna win. But
why should it win?
It should win because you all love me and they're I don't know. I feel like my tribe does have a lot of different people. It does have, again, a lot of new era people, but I have not a bunch of obnoxious men. And that's what I was going for. I can't. If you're a fan of the podcast, you know that any man who a lot of people find really entertaining, I find really annoying to watch, and that's why none of them are on my tribe. So if you're looking for a tribe of people who include men who don't want to make you call your eyes out, you're in the right place. And I do think that my tribe has a lot of people who, like, if we were to put them on a tribe on the island, would be very successful as a group of people, which is the point of Survivor, and less. I think there's some entertaining people, but it would be less about the fireworks, more about being a tribe on Survivor.
Abdul, what about you? Why should your tribe win?
Because we're all about the fireworks, you know. I got the big characters, the big players, but it's more well-rounded than that. I got smart players too. I got Kelly Kims with 2 idols. I got Caleb. I got Jesse. I got Sydney, who has it all. You know, I got a lot of different things covered. Overall, we got a lot of entertainment, yeah, but we got a lot of the gameplay too. I think if you put my tribe on a season of Survivor, you're gonna see a lot of them all the time. They're gonna get all the confessionals, and you know they're gonna do their job pretty well. So, you know, it's just the best tribe. You know, no hate to you three, but I think I put in some good work right here.
For someone who had like 9 names written down, I'm pretty impressed. But listen, all loyal viewers of the podcast, I know what you guys want in Survivor. You want to see Dominic about to get a second chance. You want to have him prove he deserves to win. You want to see Christian Ubicki play again with all the references, all the fun confessionals. Carolyn Weiger, you want to see her interact with Shane Powers, Lauren Ashley Beck. Want to have Cassie Clark get redemption for losing to the Gabler. Having Victoria got massively screwed over play again. Josh Canfield, you know, I know y'all want him to play again. Now single away from Reed. Who knows how it's going to do? You choose my tribe. You will have the most entertaining, strategically complex, fun tribe of all time. Pick Team Ryan.
I was watching an infomercial there for a second.
I'm a marketing major. I know my stuff. All right, Jacob, you're up.
If you vote for my tribe to win, I will create an entire rap song about them and release it to SoundCloud.
Ooh. I will also if my tribe wins.
You will do the same.
I won't.
I will also. I'll do something. I'll do something.
Whatever, you know. If you guys are willing to Venmo me like $5, I'm willing to do anything. So you guys ask me to do whatever. But other than that, I picked 10 extremely distinct personalities. None like the person next to them. And they're all players who played the game extremely well. And they're players who are entertaining. So they've got the fireworks. They've got the strategy. They all deserve a second chance. There's not a single player on my team that you can look at and say that they didn't bring something to their season, something unique, and something that they can bring again. And so please vote for Jacob Yussman for this Survivor Second Chance Spartans Have Spoken podcast draft.
Well, there you go, voters. It's up to you to decide. Just like the real second chance, y'all are going to vote to see which tribe deserves second chance most. We'll discuss in the podcast next time who wins. Thank you so much for listening.
I will give you Gabler's number too.
And we're
Bye,
done.
guys.